Here for Otters TV in front of historic Boston Hill on this sunny day on the front lawn. Owner Bill Bussing, Evansville Otters President John Stanley, President Linebacker here with you. And obviously some big news coming out of the Frontier League this week, announcing the merger between the Can-Am League and the Frontier League, increasing the total number of teams in the league to 14. And overall, just to start out, your guys' general reactions to the news and finally seeing this come through. Bill, we'll start with you.
Well, I'm really excited about it, Preston. We've talked about this for a couple of years. It really picked up some steam this summer. The whole concept of an expanded league geographically and 14 teams now has transformed the Frontier League into a preeminent independent league in the country.
I would concur with that. The personalities all matched pretty well. We were able to achieve the things we wanted, like an even schedule with an even number of teams. There's a great opportunity in the future. There are market areas where you have stadiums within this footprint now that will allow that to happen, and it was less so when we were doing it as the Frontier League alone, and less so for them when they were just doing the Can-Am. So the combination of the increased geographic footprint allows the opportunity for new experiences for everyone, and also new market opportunities for us going forward as well.
And John, you're especially really involved in making this come together on the executive committee for the Frontier League. Just kind of give us a brief summary of how this kind of started up within the last couple of years and finally became a reality.
Well, it's the commissioner, Bill Lee, and Steve Tassler, the assistant commissioner, had contacts with the Can-Am League for a couple of years about would you ever want to do it, but the timing was never right on it up till a year ago, and we arranged a deal where we would have the all-star game, Frontier League versus Can-Am League, just to see what does the competition look like, what are the parties like, the owners, and we had just a really enjoyable time up there, and had the opportunity to meet and spend some time with those other owners, and it felt so good that everybody was in a position to say, as we go forward, can we do business, and then can we do it in 2020 if we're going to? And it just started to take off from that point on.
Well, as you mentioned, this new merger and the expansion will take effect starting next season in 2020. Baseball season will be here before we know it, even though it's the off season now, just October. But for you, Bill, and from your perspective, how will this impact the Otters specifically, and what does it mean for this franchise to be a part of this?
Well, I think it's historic. This is going to be the 26th anniversary of the Otters here in Evansville, and while we are the oldest team remaining in the league, we're all now part of this new league. So I think it, if nothing else, just sort of justifies what we've done for the last quarter decade. But from a fan's perspective too, it's exciting to be able to see five different teams, along with some of our traditional favorites. We're going to be in the same division as 6 other former Frontier League teams. But it just, I think it raises the bar, the playing field. We hope to have some better players. Now there are only 3 primary independent leagues in the country, so I think fans can expect to see a better, even yet, caliber of competition. And we've seen it increase dramatically over the last few years.
And now going into this coming season, still, even with the new members being added, Evansville Otters baseball still the oldest active team in the Frontier League. But John, there could be some new experiences for some fans next year when they come to Boston Field.
I think there will be a lot of new experience when the schedule comes out pretty well, but we'll probably be flying a Canadian flag as being part of a league that stretches throughout North America. We'll be seeing different competition, and I'm like Bill. I believe that the competitive nature will improve because the players that play for us are very interested in advancing their career, and we've driven a nice balance about what the age is and what their opportunities going forward are. So if they're going to be able to be seen and known about more easily than they are right now just under the Frontier League, it's going to create even more opportunities and will allow us to get even more competitive players. Our players have been good, as you know, but there's also another group that can support that. So I believe that it's going to be very enjoyable for the fans to see.
And you already touched on it, both of you have, about the geographical reach of this new Frontier League now, going from as far west as Jose, Illinois, with the Gateway Grizzlies, all the way up to Quebec. All these new markets now in the Chicago area, the St. Louis area, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Quebec, the New York, New Jersey area. I mean, this really has a good footprint on the bigger market areas across this northeast, Midwest area of the country.
It does, and to me it's exciting. First of all, the kids, the young men that play are excited about the chance to be able to go to New York and go to Quebec and see some other places beyond what we normally have. So that's created some excitement on their part. But as a general rule, in any business league, you want to continue to expand if you have the opportunity to do it. The competitive leagues, the Atlantic League and the American Association, both have a pretty wide geographic basis. The American Association has a team in Winnipeg, Canada, and Dallas, Texas. So everybody, if you want to broaden your footprint and have the opportunity for more growth in your league, it's sort of the best way to do it, and it allows us to get some very good national markets, which will help hopefully increase advertising opportunities about the league and things of that nature.
And then Bill, specifically, obviously a new increased fan base across this area, the geographical reach, but this could be good exposure just for Evansville in general, being a part of this. It's one of the largest professional independent leagues in the nation.
Well, we've always had a nice flow of people from far away coming to see this historic ballpark. A lot of folks saw it in the movie, still come. I mean, I've been here, and I know you both have, when people in the off-season have come through and peered through the gates just to get a glimpse of Boston Field. The exposure we get, because we are on TV every night through our Otters digital network, should be terrific. It does. It again, it raises the level of everything we've done here for the last 25 years, and who knows what is on the horizon. The hope is to add even more franchises, maybe as many as 6 more franchises, to get up to 20, which would be a boon for the league.
And as part of this, we asked you, the fans, to send in your questions via social media to us for these two gentlemen to answer some of them for, and we definitely appreciate those that did send in questions. So we'll start out first with our Facebook following. Brian Hurd asking, obviously one of the big questions right now that's still kind of in flux, but the rosters regulations, the age limit, the roster size, that's still being discussed and possibly could change, or else could be expanded maybe.
Yes, the initial concept is that we are following all of the rules of the Frontier League, and the questions got to be, do we want to tweak it to have more opportunities for more players? And one of the the league had been at one point, Bill, you recall, 28 years old, and then it went to 27 for a variety of reasons, but that's under discussion, and we'll be able to keep some veterans that will be able to play for the Otters. Some of the favorites that we've had, John Schultz, you could go down the list. If we could have kept him for another couple of years, we would have loved to have done it. That opportunity may be available as we go forward and do it. All that will be decided within the next 30 days, I would say.
And then another question, a couple of people asked this related to the schedule, which will come out within the next week or two. But especially now with the new teams we add on, how many times will the Otters travel to these new destinations, and the travel being a big part of that is going a long way?
Yes, the travel is exciting, and it gets to be. Everybody sat down and tried to consider, how will we do this to pretty well keep our cost in line, because independent baseball does have limited funding. So as a rule right now, as the league stands, and it could change next year with expansion, everyone is going to take one long trip. We are going to be going to Quebec and Three Rivers in Canada, and then we will also take our trip out to New Jersey and to New York, which I think will be great fun experiences. So conversely, we won't do it next year, so it's not necessarily going to be an every year deal. In our discussions, we're kind of excited about being the first team that can go up to Quebec from the Frontier League. We're doing it early on, so it'll probably be cold. But Andy McCauley, Bill, you remember that? You want to comment on that?
Oh, yeah, he's a veteran of the game. He has strong roots there. We'll play all 5 new teams every year. We won't go to all 5 new venues every year.
Correct.
Some of them will come here, and we'll play some up there. So eventually, fans will, over a 2-year period, get to see all 5 teams.
And it will kind of rotate around, and eventually it all will balance out.
And we'll be traveling by plane. for the first time ever.
So that will be a fun experience for the players because, as most people know, when you get to minor league baseball, independent league baseball, it's a lot of bus ride travels going from destination to destination. Going to Twitter now, our friends from Evansville Sports 360, huge fans of the Evansville Otters. Is there any chance of former Frontier League cities will come back into the fold in a couple years? And they'll be touched upon maybe expanding even further to new markets as well. What seems more likely, having former cities come back or some new areas?
I would guess, Preston, some of the former venues could not support professional baseball. They've gone to a summer wood bat league, but I think the avenue is now open for some other major cities to come in here, and our schedule fits so well, I think, because we start around Memorial Day and we end around Labor Day. So it's 3.5 months where people are really focused on baseball, and I think this would be a great appeal to a lot of people.
And then one thing to note, this past season was the 25th anniversary season for the Evansville Otters. A big upgrade that came to Bossy Field was the new audio system, but Christopher also from Twitter was asking, going into next season, obviously with these new teams coming in and playing some bigger market teams, any other plans for Bossy Field and to enhance the fan experience or any possible upgrades?
John can address that one.
Well, I don't. Yeah, here's what I would say. We are constantly trying to figure out ways to make the experience more fun for the fans. So the last couple of years, we've started a kids zone area and we've expanded, and it's packed in there at every game. We're talking about, can we do more games in the concourse that would be more oriented toward the teenagers and adults, the cornhole or basketball toss, so that we have other options. We really like the capital asset improvement component. There are a lot of things that can happen and we're working on, and we hopefully will be able to try to have something that's new every year. We get that we need to be updated in some areas of it. So yes, I believe that we will continue to make some general improvements, and there's a chance that we could be making some significant improvements. It's always a discussion in process.
Well, there's definitely a lot of reasons to be excited about the upcoming 2020 season. Even though it's a few months away, again, it'll be here before we know it. Obviously, the Frontier League expanding to 14 teams. And then for the Evansville Otters, again, getting to be a part of now what is the largest independent professional baseball league in the country. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Any other comments you would like to make about what fans could expect going forward?
Well, I happen to be up there and being around all those owners, and they're saying that they're getting a lot of positive feedback from the growth of the league, the opportunity to see new teams, the likelihood that there will be even more competitive players, and I'm looking forward to it because it's uncertainty. We're playing against teams in a league that we've really never competed against regularly, and what does it look like? It'll be weird having Schaumburg and Joliet and Windy City in our division this time, but we know them and we're ready and excited to go compete with them. So to see the new and how that's all going to go, and the new players and the new experiences when we travel, it's just a really positive thing for the Frontier League.
Billy?
Well, the playoff format will remain similar. 4 teams will advance to the postseason. So mathematically, it's a little harder for us to win the championship, but that's going to remain our goal as it is every year, and I think Andy's up to the challenge.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a big challenge, especially for the Evansville Otters, who have seen a lot of success in recent years, making it to the postseason in consecutive seasons, going all the way back to 2016. So once again, I want to thank the fans for sending in their questions to our social media pages. I want to thank Evansville Otters owner Bill Bussing, Evansville Otters president John Stanley for joining us. I'm Preston Leinbach. This has been Otters TV.